Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the third and possibly the final part of What If Every Premier League player had 200 potential. So we're going to start off where we've gone every single time in all parts. We're just going to have a look at the shortlist, sorting by current ability and potential. And as we can see, we've got a fair few 200 current abilities. It's not just the 3 of last time. We're obviously 6 further years into the future in 2032 now, and we've got quite a few 200 current ability. So, I mean, we had a look at this guy before, I seem to think, and I remember saying we needed to keep an eye out for him. I was right. I think he was at Liverpool at the time. Yes, because he moved for 105 million. I do remember. He's been at Liverpool ever since, and I can't help but say he's probably not moved anymore because teams just couldn't afford him. I mean, if we have a look at his average ratings throughout the seasons, he's been consistent. He's been really good. Plenty of assists, not too many goals. He's not really a goal-scoring midfielder, but plenty of assists. Sometimes getting Player of the Match awards, but I'll tell you what, thinking about it, I wonder what difference that's made for the Polish national team. He's not even the highest up player. I wonder if that's because he's retired from international duty. Has that happened? He has. He retired in 2031. So it's not having an effect for the Polish national team right now. But I would have thought that for a long time it was having quite a big effect. And we're coming along to another relatively unknown player, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. It looks like he moved to Brighton in the first season. So he just got in for the 200 potential, and he's a very good centre-back. Very, very good. The only thing really of concern, I'd say, is probably his aggression and bravery. But I think those are things that, looking at the rest of his stats, I think you can forgive him for that. I mean, 13 long shots. So if you get him going forward for corners, maybe on the outside of the box, he can score a fair few goals. I can see he's got 6 for Brighton. He's not getting loads. Is he a particularly tall player? 6'1", can head, can jump. So, he's definitely going up for corners, and he's getting assists, to be fair. He's getting plenty of assists, plenty of player of the matches over the seasons. And again, he's another one of those players that's having really consistent seasons. Now on to a player who, to be honest, has potential in the game anyway. So I could have skipped past him. But at 99 million being his value, I kind of had to just have a look. 200 current ability, Harvey Elliott. He's at Spurs. I believe that move happened whilst we were simulating. I think it did. Yeah, we were in 2026 when we last looked, and he moved to Spurs for 147 million, and you can understand why. Looking at those average ratings and goals and assists per season, he's really, really solid. So I just wanted to have a quick look at Marcus Rashford. You can see here he's gone down from the 200 current ability to 176. He's 34 years old now. He's still really good. And whilst we're talking about it, we will hop on over and have a look at Mason Greenwood as well. 96 million. So he's still very much on it. And we'll take a look at he's still 196 current ability. So he's not declined much at all. He's still really good. Marcus was, how old? Sorry, 34. So yeah, Marcus is at the age where he's now starting to decline. But because he was so good, even as he's slightly declining, he's still looking really good. And his stats, you'd play him regardless of how old he was. Now, it would be unfair of me to not look at Oscar Bob, because as I keep saying, my favourite name in this game that I've spotted so far, Oscar Bob, 90 million. I don't think he's quite 200 current abilities. No, it's 199. I saw him pop up and I thought, well, I better check him out. I'll tell you what, he doesn't look perfect, but for his role, he looks really good. He's got decent crossing, dribbling, first touch is really good. His physicals are also really good. You know, he's 5'9", so you don't really want him in the box, but delivering balls into the box, he's the kind of player you want. And just like before, we're just gonna scroll down and look at all these names that we don't really recognise, because there's so, obviously everyone's got 200 potential. As you can see down this right column here, everyone's got the 200 potential, and so many of them who, I'll be honest, I don't really recognise. So Kai Corbett here, looks like he starts at West Ham, 95 million, Spanish right attacking midfielder, looks really good. Never heard of him, I'll be honest. Xavier Benjamin at Everton, looks like he starts at Fulham, 65 million, again looks really good. Now, what I am wondering is, what effect has this had on the Premier League? Has it still been the big clubs winning it? Because obviously they can bring players in from different clubs, and then the teams that are selling their 200 potential players are going to be getting loads of money for it. So have they also been able to build up their reputation and their finances and be able to buy the big players? Let's take a look. Okay, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've got any bizarre winners of the Premier League. It's pretty much the same as what you'd expect from the very start, the 2021 season. Man City, Man City, Man United, Man City, Man United, Man City, Man United, Man United, Chelsea, Chelsea, Man United, Chelsea. Strangely, I mean, Liverpool fans, it looks like you're going to be waiting a while for another title, because I don't know if they've come close, but as of yet, they've not won the season again. We just flick through, Liverpool in third a couple of times, 7th, third again. It doesn't look like they're getting close, which is really strange. Not even a second place. So there we go. We've got 1 second place in the first season. And other than that, it doesn't look like Liverpool have come close. Now, one change that I have just noticed is the competition reputation. The English Premier League has made top spot, and it looks like they've been holding it for quite a few seasons. So having all these quality players in one place with all that potential has boosted the reputation of the league ultimately. And since last time, we did have another World Cup, the 2030 World Cup. We've also got a Euro, so we'll check that out. But this time, in the World Cup, England did manage to win another one. So fortunately, it was just a one-off. England stuttering. But yeah, England have won it. Let's see if we can have a look at that. Let's see. Can we have a look at the group stage? If we scroll down, there we go. Panama and Morocco in England's group won both those games, so got put through. And then if we have a look further on, second round, if we can find them, England played against Argentina, where they won 4-1 after extra time. So I can only assume 1-1 it was. Or it could have been 0-0 to be honest. But I'm going to guess 1-1. Let's see if we can have a look at that. Is it going to let us? It is. It was 1-1. It was Lautaro Martinez. 93rd minute equaliser that put England into extra time. But England managed to get 3 extra time goals. One of them by Will Tizard, who I did say we were going to take a look at in a future episode, and we are here now to have a look at him. 199 current ability. He's at Juventus, moved for 60 million. I feel like United could have got more for him, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I'll quick have a look at his average ratings. Again, very solid, very consistent. I said it, Will Tizard was going to be a brilliant player, and there we go, we can see it, he was. But back to the World Cup, and in the third round, England beat Portugal 2-0. And moving on to the quarter-final, as it's getting easy to find, England beat the USA 2-0. In the semi-final, surprisingly, really, Ireland were in there. And I can only assume that is because of these really high potential players that are obviously coming from Ireland. So we've got Lee Kavanagh, obviously, one of our 200... I'm pretty sure he's one of the 200. He is. 200 current ability is carrying Ireland. We've also got Troy Parrott, also obviously starting in the Premier League, 98 million. And as well as that, I don't know what his current ability is, 198, so he's nearly there. Although it does say, actually, his recommended current ability is 199, so he's actually better than what his current ability suggests. But it looks like Ireland, if we can just take a quick look at them and have their current ability, they've got some really good players. Got Matt Everett, starts at Brighton. Another very good player. If we have a look at his current ability, 195. Looks like the Irish national team. Harvey Neville's another one. Obviously, son of Phil Neville. I pointed him out in the first episode, I believe. 177 current ability. He's progressed quite nicely, playing for Napoli now. It looks like some of the home nations. I'll have a look at some of the other ones as well, but it looks like, I mean, if you look at the potentials of them all, loads of the Irish national team started in England and got that boost. I don't think any of these are regens. I'd be surprised if they were, with the kind of potential ability that they've got. It looks like they are all started. I mean, I could have just looked at the ages, really, couldn't I? They've all started in the Premier League, the majority of them anyway, the 200 potential ones. And Ireland have got quite a nice team behind them. I'll check out some of the other home nations. So looking at Scotland, we can see that they've got some. They've not got as many, I'd say, that were 200 potential starting in the Premier League. I mean, we've got Ross McGregor here playing for Bayern Munich, who is a regen. Now, I was wondering if having so many good players and 200 potential, was that going to affect youth intakes? Was there going to be more star players coming through? I've seen some really good regens coming through. Ross McGregor is one of those, to be honest. I mean, is there anyone? Is there anyone else, I should say? Ryan Allen is another one that is looking quite nice. 25 years old. Not quite the 200 or 182 of Ross McGregor. I mean, you've got Josh Adam here. He's another really good-looking player, West Brom. So, yeah, I mean, based on this, I'd say that the home nations are definitely getting some benefit from this. I wonder, did Scotland make it to the World Cup? Or they did. So, they got knocked out in the third round against Italy. So, they made it quite far. Not as far as, obviously, we saw Ireland manage to make, as we're just going to skip back here. Getting beaten by England, which I think is understandable, because obviously England have more of the 200 potential players. And I've just noticed the semi-final was Wales against France. How have I missed that? And Wales won it. Obviously, also affected by the 200 potential. The home nations are smashing it because of this. I don't know why I'm so surprised. This is exactly what we expected to happen, but it's strange to see. So England played Wales in the final, and England only won after extra time. It was played at the Camp Nou in Barcelona. I mean, let's have a look at the game. I mean, so what? Let's have a look what happened. It was a Mason Mount penalty, 24th minute. And then we had Andy Perry, a regen, who obviously doesn't have the 200 potential, but still is quite good. He managed to equalise against England. And there was a disallowed goal, that is, for England. So they could have won it in the 90th minute. Then went to extra time, and Nico Williams of Arsenal scored an own goal to gift the World Cup to England. I mean, if this happens in our lifetimes, none of us are going to believe it. Okay, so this screen here is one that I wasn't expecting to see, I'll be honest. So England are in the final of the Euros. I didn't realise that it hadn't been played yet, so I'll just have a look when this game is going to get played. Hopefully it's going to appear on this. It gets played on it gets played today. Okay, right. So in a minute we'll simulate forward and see who wins that, either England or Italy. But what I can see on the screen, and you've probably spotted it as well, is that the holders are Ireland. So, I mean, we've already looked at them, so we're not going to go through it again. Their world ranking actually is 7th. I did not notice that either. So we've got England, the top ranked. If we go down, we've got the Republic of Ireland there. Have we got any others. We've got Wales quite high up. Northern Ireland's quite high up. Scotland is still 30th. Scotland is. So maybe they've not had as much of an effect as maybe we'd like. But there we go. So Ireland are the holders, and I'm going to simulate forward a little bit just to see who wins this game. And there we have it. So England are now the holders. They've beaten Italy 1-0. Let's have a look at the game and see who it was. It was a penalty by Faustino Anjorin, is how I'm going to say it. Not a player we've looked at, I don't think. 198 current ability. 30 years old. So I'd say he's pretty much got the potential out of him. He's moved around a fair bit, but he's stuck with Chelsea more. Oh, no, he started at Chelsea, sorry. He moved around on loan a couple of times to Bayern Munich, to Brighton, to West Ham before getting into the Chelsea first team and making a name for himself. And then, following that, winning the Euros with England. So this is the final thing we're going to look at in this video, because I've noticed I've gone on for quite a while. Longer than I would have imagined that I would have, and longer than I have in any of the other videos. So this is going to be the final thing we look at. We're looking at the Ballon d'Or, essentially, the World Golden Ball in this game. And first, I noticed the most recent one. We've got Bukayo Saka coming second in that, playing for Bayern Munich. I don't know where. I mean, it looks like he's probably playing as a left winger more than a wing back. He's definitely better in that position. We'll have a quick look at his current abilities. 198. We did see him up there quite a bit. So he's come second in the Ballon d'Or, followed by Charlie Allen of Barcelona. Originally starting at Leeds before moving to Manchester City for 61 million. Before moving to Barcelona for 93 million. So Charlie Allen comes third of Northern Ireland. As we know, the home nations have got an abundance of talent. So moving on to the 2030 Ballon d'Or, it was won by Bukayo Saka, followed by Fabio Silva of Chelsea, another really good looking player who we have looked at a fair bit, so we're going to move on from that. And then Joel Idaho, I'd say is how that's pronounced, the Dutchman of Barcelona. He's not one of our 200 potential players, so we're not going to focus on him too much. And then the 2029 season, all three of them are players that we've looked at before, so we're not going to go into them, but yeah, Faustino Anjorin, Kai Corbett and Mason Greenwood, the top three for the Ballon d'Or. And in 2028, Taif Chong wins it. Kai Corbett comes second behind, or ahead of, I should say, Kylian Mbappe. Taif Chong, then, we haven't looked at him this episode. He's moved around. He's doing a glory hunter by the looks of it. Went to, obviously, Inter before moving to Bayern Munich for 72 million. And then going to Real Madrid on a free. And by the looks of it, what a free. In his second season for Real Madrid. 21 goals, 11 assists, 11 player of the matches, an average rating of 8.06. Taif Chong, take a bow. And then it didn't end there for Marcus Rashford. As we saw last time in 2023, he did win a Ballon d'Or. He's got two more, 2026 and 2027. Taif Chong was the runner-up in 2027. Douglas Luiz, starting at Aston Villa, was third place. He's definitely declined, so we've probably not seen too much of how good he was previously. But, I mean, based on the fact that he's come third, I think we can take from that he was quite good. 2026, again, was a season that we might have looked at this, actually. Was this the season we looked at? This might have been the last season we looked at. Yes, I do. I remember the 2025 one. So I think this was the last season we got to. If not, it was the first season after we simulated on. So yeah, I mean, Marcus Rashford got 3 in total, did he? Yes. And it's been quite successful, to be honest. I'm surprised I've not seen more dominance from these players, but ultimately, I mean, they've been incredible. Most of them have reached decent potentials, pushed the Premier League. It's just a shame we've not seen any of the smaller teams in the Premier League come through and win titles with these players. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for today. So, as I said, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for all the love on it. Like I said in the last video, I am looking at doing... I mean, it might even be out by the time this one's out. But if it's not, then I am looking at doing something a bit different. I'm not going to reveal what it is in case I haven't got round to doing it yet. But I hope you're going to enjoy it. Experiments will hopefully continue. You know, as soon as I get an idea for something, I basically jump straight on it and get it done. So hopefully, yeah, we'll have some more experiments coming out very soon. I hope you have enjoyed. As I say in every video, if you want to see me live on Twitch, the link will be down in the description. As well, my Twitter is down there as well, so you can keep up with anything that I'm doing. But yeah, I hope you really have enjoyed. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you later.